Montalvo Broadcasting Network. Support MBN, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, and shop with us over at Montalvo Store. Go to ebay.com and search in the advanced search. Type in Montalvo Store. Now support Montalvo Broadcasting Network. We have a wide array of books on conspiracy, apparel, and much more. Support your favorite radio station, Montalvo Broadcasting Network, by visiting Montalvo Store on ebay.com.
Tribal, primitive, rustic, Burning Man, punk rock, conceptual subculture for the edgiest, most cutting-edge designs of jewelry today. Go to etsy.com/shop/conceptual subculture, or one word, either by going to Google or search Etsy, ETSY.com, and type in one word, conceptual subculture. You will find the hottest designs using natural stones with wire wrap rings, rough, raw, genuine, semi-precious gemstone jewelry, solid sterling silver, copper, leather, orgonite, bracelets, pendants, chokers, men's copper cups with sterling accents, eco-friendly, repurposed, original, one-of-a-kind design earrings. Support MBN by going to Conceptual Subculture on Etsy. Go to Antique Obsessions for the hottest in jewelry, antiques, repurposed, solid sterling silver, one-of-a-kind, handmade by Bruce and Jaja. Go to our Facebook, which is Antique Obsessions, or you can go to Etsy.com and go to Antique Obsessions, one word, or type it into your Google and find us there. Thanks.
The stylish and hippest clothing around. Go to Poshmark.com. Poshmark.com at Anti-Culture. At Anti-Culture. The coolest, hippest apparel on the internet. Poshmark.com at Anti-Culture. Bruce Montalvo.
Continues to spread conspiracy theories.
Penchant for promoting bogus conspiracies as though they were fact.
About his conspiracy theory.
This is CNN, a network of China Broadcasting System.
Bruce Montalvo is the only radio talk show host that's not controlled. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show, December 16th, 2019. And joining me on this special episode is one of Milwaukee's best. He's been a 9/11 truth activist out there. He's got his own radio show, his own radio network. You might have heard him on Truth Frequency Radio, TFR. And he's interviewed me. And now here he is on my show, the Bruce Montalvo Show. Joining me, Kristian T Harris, radio show host. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's my brother from another mother on the West Coast there doing, huh?
What's
Bruce
happening?
Montalvo, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm excited to join you.
Ooh, yeah. What's happening, man? No, I take symbols and I put them in a Lex Luger-like torture rack, my friend. That's what we do here. We translate them. That was a very nice interview you gave me, man. Very nice. TFR, very nice people from TFR. I'm friends with a lot of you guys.
Yeah, that's my home. That's where my heart belongs. I wish I could really be back on there full time. Obviously, since I left radio in 2017, and came back. They've gotten a new slew of live show hosts. They're on every hour has a live guest. They just don't have room for me, which I'm completely okay with. I'm okay with not being on there and exploring my own options. But at the same time, I miss my family on TFR.
Well, that's where I heard you, man. I mean, I heard you there. I mean, I know you've been around for a minute. I've been doing radio for about 10 years now, and I know you've been around that time, and I heard you on TFR. So, no, very nice people. They were the first, actually, to congratulate me on my marriage to Jaja. They said, hey, congratulations. They're very cool radio station, man.
Yeah, everyone over there is wonderful. I mean, Chris Gio does a fantastic job of giving everyone a free speech platform and reaching a lot of people. Boy, have they grown. God bless those guys over there for doing a great job. Yeah. And probably having one of the biggest internet radio stations in the United States.
Oh, they're good for the genre. They're good for people like us. Big shows, big fan of the shows. You got Chris Everett does his thing on there. A lot of cool guys on there,
Well, yeah, there's a lot of neat people up there. There's, Brooks Agnew, who was on Jesse Ventura's Conspiracy Theory, the HARP episode. You have Kev Baker over there. You had Down the Rabbit Hole of Popeye, which, by the way, Popeye's coming back to radio, but not a lot of people know that.
That's cool, man. Down the Rabbit Hole. Yeah, he's old school, too. He's one of those cats out there that's been doing his thing in the underground of alternative media.
Yeah, and he did a big show for a very long time, and he's making a comeback, too. It seems like now's the time to get back involved. I don't know what it is about this year, but a lot of activists, a lot of us who maybe have gotten beaten down by either the fake news list or people who have been censored, just don't care anymore. We're coming back, and we're going to make our, splash. Yeah. This is it. This is it, man. This is the last fight for freedom, for Americanism, for our ability to change the world to be a better place. And not that I agree with the current administration. I'm just saying that there's a lot of weird things going on in the world. Like, they can't even figure out what a boy or girl is anymore, Bruce.
Yeah, man, it's just insanity. You got these crazy old libtard women with their wrinkly old freaking coin purse vages running around. I want to abort this baby. It's like, you can't even have babies. What are you worried about? Even if you could have a baby, what are you gonna do? Kill it? You can't. You're overdue. You're past due. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. They're just nuts.
Well, what's really bizarre about this whole conversation we're having right now is back when I was growing up, it wasn't that you were killing a baby. It was whether it was being born or not, whether it was life or not. Now that we've distinguished that it is life. You
can't even have babies.
Now that we distinguish that it's not life, or that it is life, people are like saying, yeah, let's just kill the babies. It's like they don't even care anymore that it's life. It's whether or not you have the right to go ahead and do that, right? You have the right whether or not to abort your own child. And, there's some concerns about, what your rights are and not as a parent. But now they're just saying post-birth abortions, right? Now it's just like Mystery Babylon religion where Nimrod can get people to adhere to his evil ways of kingdom rulership and get his people to worship him.
Well, what it is, Kristian? It's Baalism, and they want to bring about cannibalism, and that, in the words, it's right there in the words, Baalism, cannibalism.
Cannibalism,
it's like Soylent Green, right? Yeah, Soylent Green. When did Soylent Green take place? The movie, 2022? And, you find all these commie, Marxist, Leninist politicians now that are like all the rage supposedly with the kids, and they all want this green agenda. It sounds to me like what they're taking right from science fiction horror, like Soylent Green.
Well, that's just it. There used to be a broadcaster back in the 60s, Myron C. Fagan. He'd always say, never confuse a red for a green, meaning that, the green things that they push ending communism, which is really what we are seeing through UN Agenda 21, through things like Common Core or Communist Core curriculum, like things like sustainable development, smart growth, smart grids, smart meters that push metadata. What's really interesting is metadata is done on a computer, and the scribe of God, his name is, the angelic scribe of God's name is Metatron.
Metatron.
Yep.
That's brilliant.
And as a computer, just throwing it out there. Can't make this up.
No, man. And, I heard you say that, and I actually added that onto the book. You know what I'm saying? That is just brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Metadata, Metatron. I went into it, and I just, because I just released the book on Kindle, man. So, having you on, that's why I want to title the show Symbols Part 2, because we had such an epic broadcast on your show. You know what I'm saying? Just, it was one of the best interviews I've done concerning the subject of symbolism, other than having Jordan Maxwell on myself, who helped me co-author the book and helped with some of the artwork.
And Jordan Maxwell has been a torchbearer himself. There's always somebody before somebody, and he's done a really good job, I think, of educating the masses. Just not really just only on new stuff, but on pre-existing things people were not aware of that were kept within the societies like Freemasonry by people like Albert Mackey or Manly P. Hall.
That's right.
Blavatsky, all these, Alice Bailey, all these people, not all of them we have to agree with, or Albert Pike. It's just one of those things where you need to know the knowledge to understand what the true nature of the Luciferian agenda is.
Absolutely.
And what it's into.
Yo, man, and you, because of torchbearers like Maxwell, we're able to decipher now very easily, you and I today, because, you have to be also enlightened, or be one of the enlightened ones now at this time, which we are. Everybody that knows and seeks the truth is enlightened, to know this kind of stuff. We could see through the mass media, like take Star Wars, for instance. You got the baby Yoda, right? He's being pushed, around Christmas time. What are you supposed to be praising during Christmas time, right? The birth of the baby Christ. So you have the baby of Mephistopheles, pretty much, right? And I mean, how else would you know this if it wasn't for guys like Maxwell? You know what I'm saying?
Well, not only that, Baby Yoda's in a manger that floats.
Right.
He's away in that manger, that's for sure. And you're right. It's interesting.
He's trending all over the place. He's like going viral. Baby Yoda is your god now. And that's on New York Times.
Well, and that's just it. So everyone is gonna love Baby Yoda, and I'll be honest, Baby Yoda is lovable. If I were in a ska band and I wrote a song right now, it'd be called "Baby Yoda, Please Come Home" for Christmas.
Oh my God! Hey, that kicks ass, man. I could already do. I do like the Sublime, ska guitar to the background, like kind of punky, but
I would just do a play on Lola and do a
Baby
tribute
Yoda.
To you're like Baby Yoda, YODA Yoda,
All right, kidding. Man. I want to go grab a pack of beer now and write the song with you.
Hey,
Baby Yoda.
And will be called 9/11 and the Conspiracies.
That's the next one. Yeah, that's right. That's the whole album. It's called 9/11 and the Conspiracies. The hit single, Baby Yoda.
Yes, and we do have to do a cover of Jesus is a Friend of Mine by Sunseed, which is the first Kristian ska song, which is, if you've seen the video, it's absolutely awful. It's like 1970s.
Oh
my God. I won't even get into it.
No, it's just so silly nowadays. Everything that's trending, like you got the Baby Yoda, and now you got that talentless piece of crap. What is it? Kanye West, in my opinion. He's all like, he's the Silver Surfer or the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz now, or a giant sperm. What the hell is it? This guy, now he's supposed to be like a big conservative guy, right? I could have sworn I saw him wearing like Baphomet freaking Baal t-shirts and, doing an ultra Masonic homage in his videos. I mean, it's just plain as day. These people are soulless. They're like reptilians, these Kardashians, all this crap. I mean, these are the soulless beings that are given this ethereal plane that we all live on, to control us, through that metadata, because it's all mindless metadata turning you into an NPC. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just it. And first of all, I want to point out, I'm not here put on this planet to judge anyone's motives. If Kanye West decided to become conservative and it isn't to push albums first of all, look at who he started to hang out with right away. The most controversial, establishment of the one world religion there, Joel Osteen.
Oh, a total con man. That's like his name. Con man, Kanye, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Hey, Bruce Montalvo, man. I hear you making fun of me, man. I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to write a 352-page article about how you's a punk, and I'm the greatest genius, motherfucker. I'll kill you.
Baby Yoda's on my
Yoda.
screen right now. I just can't stop petting him on my green screen.
That sounds wrong, bro. You're petting your Baby Yoda live on air. What's wrong with you?
A lot of people are upset with Baby Yoda. Did you hear about this? That his origin story, that he just has magic powers, but throughout Star Wars it said that Yoda learned them to become a Jedi. But I guess he was just born a Jedi, according to The Mandalorian. So, but not to get us off the track. So Kanye West, if he genuinely made a change, God bless him. But I don't...
The God that's going to bless him is Baal. Is the satanic devil from hell. And, these are satanic people. These are the fallen ones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's who I truly think guys like this are. You know what I'm saying? They're just agents of Satan, or the dark force, of this world.
Well, you know who Baal originally was. Before Baal, he was Moloch, and before Moloch, he was Nimrod, the first sun deity in the Babylonian culture. Right. So they all just really represent Nimrod, the first sun god to wear a crown. The crown represents the sun and his rays, because you must bow down before the sun, or the son of God. Right. That's why people church on Sunday, the day worship the sun.
You go back to Zoroastrianism, the oldest religion, and they worship that same symbol. In Egyptian, it's known as the Amun-Ra.
Yeah, and also I think a lot of times Christians don't understand the symbolism of Jesus and the crown of thorns, because the crown of thorns is still a crown and represents, the thorns represent the God's Son, S-U-N. Some people could say the Son of God, S-O-N. Yeah. But it's a play on words a little bit in some aspect, but it's all about the symbolism and what it can present to certain individuals. And there's been an ongoing battle in the church between Gnosticism and what people believe faith-driven Christianity and or faith-driven Judaism. So
that's right. Well, before Christianity, you had Mithraism. These Roman religions go in line with paganism and again Judaism, and the Egyptians, and again Zoroaster being the oldest known religion, the Babylonian religion.
Well, and then they all got permeated. So the story, from my understanding, how it rolled was that post-flood, Ham's son or grandson, Nimrod, received these magical armor given to Adam and Eve out of the garden called the garments of skin. And you only find this by reading the esoteric books, Jasher, books of Enoch, the books of Eden, or they might call them the books of Adam and Eve. And this garments of skin allegedly made him like Nephilim and gave him power. And he was so upset that God destroyed the world in the flood that he wanted to teach people that it was through their own hard work that they too could become as if they're gods, which is the same story we are told in the Garden of Eden, So.
Right, and it's very close to what you see now. You're like the age of Aquarius supposed to be around. So is there another flood on the way? Is the waters from above going to come crashing down and cause the same kind of apocalyptic catastrophe? Only they know. And even the angels in heaven don't know, according to the writings.
Have you ever indulged into the Adam and Eve story released by the CIA?
Well, if I see Adam, right away in the etymology of that word, you see atom, which is like the atom bomb, atomic.
Or the foundations of our DNA in Adam?
Precisely. But no, I haven't seen that document, no.
It was done by a very interesting individual, and it was recently released by the CIA. And it was literally a book written by Chan Thomas called The Adam and Eve Story in the 1960s. And it was bought up by the CIA and classified as top secret. But in these documents, he breaks down the esoteric symbolism of Adam and Eve, and I found it pretty fascinating.
Right, so it's along the lines of what I'm saying, right? The meaning of atom, literally, like
right.
atomic, yeah.
And he breaks down kind of how it was all really symbolism, how basically there was a symbol of the serpent. The serpent was the water coming over the land, or the great flood, that there was a great flood. The tree represents the land that they went to, or the new land. The new growth is the eating of the apple. I don't know all the exact translations, but I'll try to find it here throughout the show so I can give you an accurate read of his book. But if you go and read it, it's and he dives into the whole biblical context, but how he believes that it was recreated. It's very controversial, and the question is why did they only release 73 of the 250 pages? And then when you look into Chan Thomas, he's literally a ghost, and then you start to find out, like I did a lot of research, I started to find out stuff about him. That the guy was allegedly a psychic, and his job, at one point, Chan Thomas worked for one of the more top defense agencies in the United States researching UFOs.
Oh, so not Nazi secret space program stuff. Right. So they know what's beyond Antarctica.
Yes. And here's the symbolism, if I can quote Chan Thomas. Quote, this is from the CIA documents released in 2013. Quote, so, in essence, the story as read from the glyphs would be that Adam and Eve, who lived in the Garden of Eden in the mother continent, which equates to the tree, the mother continent is a tree, were descended from the original mankind, or fruit. The fruit represents original mankind of the land, which incidentally was surrounded entirely by water, or the serpent around the tree. Eve was Adam's daughter, and he was a widower. They realized that in order to survive, they had to leave and never try to return, for the motherland was to be destroyed by a cataclysmic inundation. They left, and afterward, the continent, or tree, was subjected to a fiery earthquake, or the flaming sword in the Garden of Eden, during which it lost its foundations, or cherubims, and sank beneath the ocean, or serpent, which forever and afterward walked over the sunken continent on its belly. Hence why the serpent lost its legs.
Wow, man, that sounds like an episode of like 1960s or 70s Flash Gordon freaking cartoons. The serpent with the flaming sword. Damn.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Wow.
And what's interesting is when you read these books of Eden, you start to get a context of it in a different way if you look at it through symbolism.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see it in the pop culture and the media. Like, you try to sit down with your kids, for instance, and you're going to watch one of the Marvel movies, right? And you just see, like the new Spider-Man's, for instance, he's fighting Mysterio, right? And Mysterio's using holographic phantom technology. And then they got, nanotechnology. His suit is made out of nanotech. All that is not comic books anymore. It's literally real life.
No, absolutely. And that's the whole mindset there, is that, pretty soon we will have mutant wars. They're already doing animal-human hybrids. It's almost like the stories of the books of Enoch, or in fact, the Judaic text of the Book of Giants, where there's perversions against man, and they made all these perversions against animals.
Well, the Chinese, man, they're making monkey pigs?
Yeah, we need Rocksteady and Bebop.
They made Rocksteady and Bebop. I heard you got a Ninja Turtles expert on your show also. That's pretty cool, man.
Corey Washington, Corey Elijah. Let's go by the name he wants to, that he's given me. Corey Elijah is the Comic-Con, cosplay expert and authority on Ninja Turtles. Cool. He does a segment in Milwaukee and Chicago, all over the place. He is, in my opinion, one of the greater experts on this. And we talk about all the futurism that's in Ninja Turtles and all the predictive text. Everything from slices of pizza, because they're obsessed with pizza, to how,
That's a little weird. Yeah.
We're going to have Ninja Turtles to rescue us from Rocksteady and Bebop in China. So Krang in his brain that was reinstalled in a new clone body and downloaded will be trying to command them. And Shredder, some guy that looks like a can opener, is going to come and try to. And look, we already got the Foot Clan. What do you think ISIS looks like? Have you ever seen any of those ISIS videos?
Antifa. Antifa looks like foot soldiers.
Yeah, Foot Clan.
They're just getting their asses kicked all over the place. And the water, they're in New York, right? The water over there has literally got radioactive tritium. I mean, I was living there in Brooklyn, with my wife, Jaja, and we smelled the water one day. We called the Toxic Avenger. We figured we'd call Clyde Lewis that night, be like, hey, man, the water stinks here today, okay? And it's not just that regular Brooklyn stink, okay? Because I could live with that, right? Because I've been living here and I know it stinks. But the water literally is coming out like kitty litter. And it's indicative of how they try to cover up, radioactive tritium in the water. So, we called him. And, you've been on a show. You've been on Ground Zero. Very big show now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I know when I was on there, I was at Bilderberg in 2017, and I haven't really pursued going on there really, except for when I was doing my little ditty trying to bring the topic of ethics to transhumanism as running as a presidential candidate for that party, just so we could have some conservative viewpoints and maybe slow the train wreck a little bit and or make wiser decisions, because some of the technology is great. I mean, I would like to live longer, and somebody's going to have to live forever to attack to be the nemesis to the bad.
Right, you could be like Iron Man, or you could grow like an iron arm, or like Luke Skywalker, you have the cyborg hand, It's,
why would I want to imagine if you live ever and just read every book in the library and just soak in all that knowledge? I mean, that's what Google is going to be, the AI that they implant into some kind
that's scary, man. But, what you're seeing from the past, you remember Star Trek, that the watches, it's like pretty much like Skype, like, Insta chat with the person now on your wrist. That's in Star Trek. I mean, it's real life now.
And that's just it. That's what it's coming down to, is that we are going to see all this kind of symbolism in TV, and it's kind of indoctrinated, and all of a sudden we're having these communicators that look like cell phones. There's a newspaper article, hold on, let me pull it up. I saved it on my telephone here, and right here, this is from the Tacoma News Tribune, April 11th, 1953. There'll be no escape in the future from telephones. The telephone of the future, Mark R. Sullivan, San Francisco president and director of the Pacific Telephone and Telephone Graph Company, said in an address Thursday night, just what form the future telephone will take is, of course, pure speculation. Here's my prophecy, quote, in its final development, the telephone will be carried around by the individual, perhaps as we carried around a watch today. It probably will require no dial or equivalent, and I think that the user will be able to see each other if they want as they talk. Who knows, but what it may actually translate from one language to another, possibly.
Wow! Now the phone is that's AT&T, right?
That's everything.
Pac Bell, the phone has now become 1984. Like, literally, it's Big Brother. And they showed you Big Brother talking to you on the screen, and I mean, they have now admitted to, like, stuff from, like, back in the day, what was it, Enemy of the State, like what you saw in Enemy of the State. Now they admitted to having this type of surveillance. They could watch you through the TV.
Yeah, well, that's just it. And we were talking about that on the Rundown Live for years prior, that they could do this and that they had the ability to do this. And people would just tell you that you're just a nuts conspiracy theorist. But what it all came down to is they wanted to collect that metadata. They wanted to be as if they were gods. They wanted to be able to collect this information and, basically control us in every aspect of our life. And isn't that really what, this whole green movement is doing? It's controlling us every way from what we eat to how many cows you can own. They're like, we need to get rid of cows in Africa.
Oh yeah, because they're farting. Meanwhile, they're the ones that fart on MSNBC. These commie Marxists, right? You see them farting, or was it a whoopee cushion? I don't know. It could have been a fake fart. They got fake news, fake farts.
Yeah, that's just it. It's fake news, fake farts, and I think that it's kind of crazy that they're going to be able to have this kind of control, and it all stems from this idea that, do you know who actually funded or started the global warming movement? Was a guy named Maurice Strong, and he was funded by Edmund D. Rothschild. So as far as the House of Rothschild goes in this ideology, I don't think that they have much respect for human life. Since they funded both sides of each war since Napoleon, I don't think that's really the case. So he funded it, he started it, and it's a whole idea of absolute control.
Yeah, and again, Rothschild, Red Shield. How many symbols are out there that are shields? You have almost every sports emblem is a shield. Every car logo, some of them are shields everywhere. The gas companies, you have Chevron.
Every award is like a sun representation too, like a coin or right. A basket or it's just crazy.
Yeah, no, it's in your face, and they don't hide it. They put it out there. It's just for you, like in the movie of They Live. It's up to you to find your own glasses so that you can see the truth. Really is.
Well, and that's just it. And they literally are all about controlling definitions and words too, in the language that we talk about, and what is a boy, what is a girl.
Oh, even letters, bro. Letters themselves are occult symbols. You got the letter T. There's a lot of symbols with letter T is a cross symbol. You have the letter O is the infinity symbol, basically the intertwined snakes. You have America is named after the feathered serpent, basically going back to Mexican folklore, Quetzalcoatl, and the Japanese and the Norse. I heard you talking about the tree of life and the serpent. That's like the Norse soul eater kind of symbology. This is scary stuff. People have no idea what's going on.
Well, not only that, the District of Columbia can also translate to Semiramis, who is also, the wife and mother-wife of Nimrod, who had incestuous relationships with Nimrod to bring forth an immaculate conception of Tammuz. The incestuous relationship is why elite interbreed to this very day. That's and right. Even, there's descendants or wealthy people who claim to be the descendants of Nimrod.
That's why the Habsburgs are so retarded, like in the pictures out of hide, so that, Dad, I fucked my sister, Dad, my cousin's my wife, Dad.
Yeah, so that's what it comes down to. And then they have these mentally ill people. It really stems down to keeping the power or receiving an all-seeing eye or having some kind of magic between doing that. It's sex magic, which also ties into the whole Semiramis and Nimrod incestuous relationship that they have there.
And the secret societies such as the Ordo Temple Orientai and a lot of these disgusting, like some of these musicians, like Kanye West, for instance, or like in the videos, like Rihanna dressed herself up like as a giant like sperm, that's symbolic of the sex magic. They know what they're doing.
Well, they actually propagandize it and they put it at center stage for things like the Super Bowl.
They're run by the Jesuits, man, and they're run by the Jesuits. The Jesuits are in the recording studio writing their hits for them.
You think so, huh?
Well, Steven Jackson from the Illuminati card game thinks so as well. You see those cards, man? He's got like cloaked druids writing their songs.
You know what's funny is I purchased and owned the card game, and I gave it to.
There's several versions.
I gave it to actually a very famous individual. His name is Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kids You Know. When they were in Milwaukee, I gave him the Illuminati card game because I knew he was a conspiracy theorist. and he exposes a lot of this in his now Comedy Channel music videos he does. He exposes a lot of the conspiracy world and truths behind conspiracy. If you ever look up kitty history, where it's like a kitty history just like ours, and it shows cats like crapping on the beach, and it's like a representation of Christopher Columbus. They're the first ones to poop on the beach, and then JFK kitty gets shot by the CIA. And just like our JFK does, and JFK commie flies airplanes into the World Trade Center, just like in real world. It's a crazy what you can do subliminally with symbolism. And there's such a thing as a positive symbolism. I know we talked about letters a little bit, and there is even the letters are symbols themselves. The capital A is the pyramid in the all-seeing eye. The capital B is the number 13, and you could go on. And I bet you between me and you, we could probably come up with a symbolic dictionary of what every symbol derived from as far as the American language.
Yeah, it's really revelation of the method, and that's what it is. It's predictive programming. It's engineering the public socially, just like Pavlov's dog.
That's just it. They ring the bell, and it's time to eat.
Just like when you're in school, the bell's done, the bells ring, it's time for class, or now it's time to leave. They're conditioning the public. What do they use? These electronic low frequencies. Because you're a frequency in the end, they resonate to your resonance, and they try to disturb your aura. That's getting spiritual with it, but that's I saw it in an episode of Kung Fu once. What do you want me to say?
The legend continues. Is that the one we're talking about?
That's right. And then I kicked the guy in the balls. You know what I'm saying? It's like boom. No, that was Beavis and Butthead. No, my bad.
There's actually an article I just posted on my website within the last few days on the subject about them being able to tune into your mental frequency and then download your thoughts.
Oh, my God.
At the computer screen, here it is. Researchers have created an artificial intelligence that draws what a person is looking at in real time just by reading and decoding their brainwaves.
Bro, this is gnarly because the people are out there thinking that, you could go to Mars when they can't even go to the moon. Again, because they don't have the technology, right, or whatever. But it's, they're out there looking for little green men in all the wrong places when, in reality, the aliens are right here in your freaking computer internet screen. Because if you look up the last words of Anunnaki, you have AI, artificial intelligence, and then you have, every time you send an email, the wrong email, it comes back to you. It says mailer daemon, right? You go back to the Greek, all that, daemon, you know what that is. It's a preternatural, it's a scary deity. It's something evil. So, there's a lot of symbolism in the computers themselves, like the Windows, the logo for Windows is a straight up swastika right there in your face.
Yeah. Or the Google logo is 666.
And that's what I think is the most evil man in the world, man. That's Bill Gates, and they should have done to him what they did in the South Park episode. Oh, what do you mean? It's the fastest. Boom!
Dude, South Park is where it's at as far as getting some truth.
That freaking dork, man. Bill Gates. No, he's one of the most evil dorks in the world, You want to talk about straight up eugenics and threats to humanity, he's number one. With his depopulation agenda, he makes me sick.
He was hanging out with Epstein, and he has to answer. But Bill Clinton, by the way, nobody's asking about Bill Clinton and him.
Because they're too distracted with the Prince Andrew, and that's diverting from the Clinton. And meanwhile, I'm hearing news that the FBI just lost all the files. And I wonder how that happened. Right? They're all a bunch of corrupt bastards. It should stand for Federal Office of Corrupt Bastards that cover things up. Because
all the Epstein files.
Yeah, they lost all the Epstein files. Yeah, the guy probably just faked his death. I'm also seeing stuff like, on the Vigilant Citizen or whatever, seeing, drone shots of Epstein still kicking it at Epstein Island or whatever. These guys, they're like jesters, man.
Well, that's that. I think a lot of people don't believe he passed away, and that's just.
But you know what? He was involved. He was involved in very serious science. He goes to the MK Ultra program, and even studying the origins of human consciousness that date back to some type of bacteria or some fungi. I mean, this guy wasn't just any slouch. He's like a scientist.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about evilness, I mean, I thought Pizzagate was fake news. I thought those Podesta emails and the spirit cooking.
Oh, no. No. The symbolism is in that as well. What you see? Have you ever seen the ice cream bar, the Magnum ice cream bar? According to the FBI dossier on that, that's the symbolism for pedophiles who like little girls. And then you see that same symbol as the Burlington Coat Factory. You see that? And then also the cartoon, the Powerpuff Girls. So it just shows you a Cartoon Network, you checkerboard floor right there, letting you know, run by one of the most insane psychopaths. I don't know who's more insane, Ted Turner or his batshit crazy wife, Jane Fonda.
I see it, the big heart, little heart. I see it. I'm putting it on the screen for the people that might the live chat. I see a big heart, little heart. That's a textbook pedophile symbol for young girl.
Burlington Coat Factory. You got the Powerpuff Girls, and what's the other one I said? The ice cream bar, the Magnum. And what's Magnum again? Magnum is a type of condom.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just perversion 24/7. Sex sells. Sex sells.
But it's weird about the Magnum because I also, when I was at Walmart, I saw the Boy Lover one on golfing equipment. And they're like,
God.
oh, that's just a jihad. And I posted it and I actually reshared it on my Facebook recently because it came up in my memories. So there's like, boy, this is Pizzagate. But Pizzagate was just proven fake. No one's talking about it.
Bro, I felt like I was in the They Live world here locally because, I went out to get a pie. I just moved out here to this part of Arizona. I'm not a local. I'm from California, like from LA. And I'm out here. And I just stop at this place. Never been to eat pizza here. And we get a pizza to go. I get one of the business cards. It says Alephantis. James Alephantis, right? Connected to this guy. But then there's another pizza joint. And then I look at their menu and it's got like little kids sitting on an old man's lap. And it's got the triangle within the triangle logo. The same logo for the Linkin Park, the band. And again, there's this conspiracy going around that the singer... Chester Bennington was John Podesta's son, right?
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that too.
We're conspiracy slangers, so we got to slang a couple of the people like they're crack rocks, you know what I'm saying?
Right? And he said his father molested him, and it's like he's an illegitimate child, right?
Oh, yeah, well, imagine if you were Podesta's son, and you got an uncle like that, Tony Podesta, and every time you go to his house to sleep over, he's got like all these weird, ornaments in his house and cannibalism, this and that, and like, little kids in cages, and then little girls going missing when their sketches show up on the TV in Canada. I mean, yeah, you'd want to kill yourself too. Or fake your death. You have that much money, you end up being like the conspiracy of Tupac and going to Cuba and not really dying.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy how much they look alike. I'm pulling it up here on the screen. And yeah, I mean, they look alike. I don't know if that's just a coincidence.
I'm not trying to be like Dallas Goldbug or all the other cats, but doppelgangers, bro. What's up?
They do look like doppelgangers. They have the same nose. They have the same ears. Yeah, I mean,
that's his little Laban's tadpole. Come on, man. Come on. It's like look at the cheeks or the ears or whatever the guy said to look at on these videos.
It's just creepy. Linkin Park, Podesta.
But look at the logo for Linkin Park. It's that logo. It's the Man Boy Love Nambla freaking logo.
It is. I see it. The big cut. You're not even kidding.
No,
that is it. But it's more of like it's more of an artistic version.
Oh yeah, they put a modernist twist on it.
Yeah, pedo symbol.
And that's exactly what they want to do. They want to modernize pedophilia.
Well, isn't it interesting now that this is, I'm showing listeners on the screen, this is the Boy Lover FBI pedo symbol legend, tells what means boy love. Here's the heart, big heart, little heart we were talking about. That's his girl love. These are butterflies. These are symbols that are textbook pedophile, and they speak in symbols. So if somebody who's a pedo person will see the symbol, and he'll either know that there may be access to pedophile material in that place, or that they can get access to it, or where they can find or arrange a meeting, I'm assuming. And they'll have coins with these logos on it. They tell the FBI to look for coins or handkerchiefs or anything that might have these logos that might help another pedophile acknowledge one from another to find out where they can arrange meetings.
No, it's a sick underground. And speaking of sick underground, there's supposed to be some type of underground chambers underneath Washington, D.C., like that are able to funnel out like mass human trafficking and dungeons, and just like Vatican, the Vatican catacombs.
Well, and that's just it. So they have all these old prohibition tunnels, which I'm guessing a lot of those probably are.
Dear God, that's horrifying.
Hello?
Yeah, that's horrifying. That's absolutely horrifying.
So I don't really know what goes on. The truth is we don't know. We haven't been able to prove it. I've heard those same, and I'm going to tie this in. I heard the same stories about a town in Wisconsin here called Burlington, where they have these underground.
Burlington. Listen to that. Just like the Burlington logo.
Well, it's very Masonic town, Burlington is, and they have a lot of Masonic symbolism, and it's very, let's say, Mormon. But there's caves and old underground railroad caves and all sorts of stuff down there where people, there's legends, but allegedly people thought that certain law enforcement individuals were trafficking children, but there's no credence to that. It's just all hearsay.
Well, when you say that, bro, the logo for the LAPD or the sheriff logo is the same Man Boy Love logo also.
No way.
Yes. If you want to pull that up, LA, badge or Pizzagate LA officer's badge, LAPD badge, it'll come up. You'll see it. It's just disgusting, man. They're all players and pawns on their mass grand chessboard.
Well, did you see the logo of the kids? Okay, so the kid who shot up Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria, his father was a big champion of helping endangered and abused children. But the website for the person which he runs all these big children protection agency type stuff, he's looking out for the little kids. But all the logos on his website were all pedophile logos.
That's probably a psyop, psychological operation. Why wouldn't they want to put one of their own guys on this? And you see the Megyn Kelly interview or whatever with the Alephantis guy. She totally didn't even she made him a victim. Oh, you're a victim, right? Oh yeah, I'm probably related to the Rothschilds, but no, I'm a victim here.
I don't know anything about the bloodlines there. All I know is that for a long time, these things were going on. And I don't know if John Podesta was involved in any of this. All I know is he does do spirit cooking according to his emails.
Yeah, and he's wanted, his mugshot. It looks like his mugshot on the missing girl. Him and his brother, Tony Podesta, on mugshots for a missing child. Potentially, it looks just like him.
I saw that where the missing child, and they were looking for two individuals that looked like Tony and John. And those, correlation does not mean causation, obviously. But at the same point, I think it's also interesting that Burlington, Wisconsin, is where Nestle's out of.
Right.
But Comet Ping Pong. What was the name of the kid? Comet Ping Pong Pizzeria. Hold on. Ping Pong Pizzeria. A shooter. Father. Let's see what the organization was called. Anyways, Edgar M. Welch, 20-year-old father of two. Let's see if that's who it was. I like doing real-time investigation.
Yeah, I like that, bro. No, you're pretty hands-on investigative journalist on the radio with it. And that's pretty hip. I like that.
Well, the big thing is that people can follow along and at least know where you get it.
That's right.
Let's see, father. And let's see if we can find a link to it. December, when Harry Welch Jr. received a call. Harry Welch Jr. Let's see what Harry Welch Jr. runs. We're going to pull this up, and I'm going to show you Harry Welch Jr., North Carolina. And he runs Forever Young Productions is what it's called. So let's Google Forever Young Productions.
That sounds weird already.
It's okay. Yes, I'm just throwing this out here. Forever Young Productions. I'm pulling it up. Here it is. Oh, they changed the logo, bro. They changed the logo.
Of course, like Blackwater and Academy and XE Services. All they just keep changing their logos because they're doing black ops. They're doing black operations.
It used to be a big heart, little heart, and big hand, little hand, and now it's just a heart with a Roman numeral 3.
Oh, you know what that was? It was a Mandela effect. It just changed. Mandela effect.
But Forever Young. And so about him, and I'm not saying this person is involved in anything nefarious. I'm just saying if you were going to be involved in something, here is Harry Welch's homepage. If you are going to be part of something nefarious, his personal biography about who he is. Here, basically, he was elected president of the North Carolina Crime Stoppers Association, which is cool. He served 2 terms as a Boy Scout American Council, Central North Carolina. By the way, the Boy Scouts is one of the most underrated gangs in the world as far as secret society.
Look at the symbol of the Boy Scouts. It's a fleur-de-lis, the Masonic fleur-de-lis.
Yep. And so I'm going to tell you right now that all this changed. You can say Mandela effect or whatever, but yeah, Forever Young.
I'm just messing around, man. But what's really creepy is how now it's Christmas time. Now people are in good humor or whatever, or bad humor, putting up ornaments of Jeffrey Epstein, now a pedophile, right? They're putting, look at this. I thought it was a crazy conspiracy that there was crazy. Just kooks like us say, oh no, it's a bunch of pedophiles and they rule everything. No, they do. And they're out for your kids' pineal glands, and we've known this stuff since the Franklin cover-up days and before that. And the church, the Jesuits, with the desaparecidos, the children. I mean, you had Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas allude to it, talking about, they cut her pineal gland out in the parking lot and ripped it out. And you know that scene when they're talking about the adrenochrome.
Well, that's other thing. Who first introduced me to all that was Fritz Springmeier.
That's right. Yep.
And Fritz Springmeier, with his Bloodlines of the Illuminati book, which he deprogrammed people, which I didn't find to be, I always wanted evidence. And not too long ago, I had some evidence that those were all legit and real things that he did. I didn't understand the deprogramming. I didn't think it was real until I started getting involved with somebody that was direct result of the Monarch project with MK Ultra.
Well, the Montauk, they did that in Montauk as well. They operated on people this way, mind control programs and even time travel programs. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And the scripts on the mainstream TV, the Netflix, everything has to do with time travel and time travel is and Hadron Collider that, and even in the past they were still, trickling in, the Large Hadron Collider, and you just, you didn't pay any attention. But all this is now, like I said, it's become reality.
So this is what Monarch Mind Control is. Monarch Mind Control is an offshoot of MK Ultra experience. The women exposed to these experiences were turned into sex slaves and dolls that will do anything.
Oh, you don't need that now because they got Robo Chicks or whatever?
Well, that's true.
No, but I talked to Noel Sharkey. He's a robo psychologist, right? You've heard of him, right? Noel Sharkey?
Yeah.
He doesn't understand why anybody would want a robot sex partner, because if you ram your genitals in there, I mean, it's like they got gears. What if your shit gets stuck in a gear, right? I mean, it's not gonna.
Is that Metal Gear Solid then?
Talk about Metal Gear. Talk about your Solid Snake getting Metal Gear Solid.
Are these sex robots self-washing? Do they get up and shower in the morning, or do you gotta put it in a human dishwasher
and kind of hit it upside down? I mean, the dehumanization of man. I mean, it's become crazy. I mean, could you imagine you trying to tell your kid now to go out and get a paper route so that maybe he could score with the chick he likes at school? He's not going to want to do it because he's going to be in his room with the door locked, but he's not going to be spanking his monkey. He's going to be banging his robo chick.
Well, I mean, okay, let's first of all, for people who are lonely and can never get in a relationship, they so chose to have a robo chip. I would respect it, but
hey, that's America. It's beautiful. Yes, but I'm just. I have the opinion to think they're batshit crazy. That's all. That's my opinion.
Well, lifters are marrying these things, which is now in the news. Where we're just gonna start marrying them off. That's a little weird to me. You can call me a little weird, a little old fashioned, but that's what it is. Absolutely.
You sound like Caitlyn Jenner. I'm a little old-fashioned. I'm an old-fashioned girl.
Is it Caitlyn Jenner?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. Let me tell you, it's Kanye's trans father, father-in-law. It's open mic night here on the Bruce Montalvo show. It's just zingers all night with my good friend Kristian T Harris joining me here.
Yeah, and Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. You can't forget Baby Yoda.
Yoda.
I just saw a meme with him, and it says, Baby Yoda looking cute taking a piss in the pool or something.
I saw one of them doing cocaine. I was like, well, how far are they going to go?
Oh
I was literally was waiting for the meme, and somebody's going to make it, like, right after the show, of Baby Yoda taking down the Twin Towers and being like, yep, still more believable than the official story.
Oh, man, hey, you got to make that meme. I don't think that meme's out there.
You have this little cup there, and you'll be setting it on top of the building.
The Rundown Live, you put the watermark, Rundown Live, and Baby Yoda just fucking up the Twin Towers. More believable.
It would go viral. I already thought about it. Immediately when I saw it going, the first thing I said is, how can I market Baby Yoda for... you know what? We could have Baby Yoda to take his little teacup and nicely have it on top of the trade center that is being destroyed and imploding due to explosives that were allegedly potentially put in the building. But then again...
Or directed energy weapons. You don't know. But, dude, really, what the hell is Baby Yoda? Is he Yoda but a baby?
Yeah, but I don't know
or is he Yoda's baby?
Like, how do you make a Baby Yoda? Was there like two Yodas and then they?
Well, the Mandalorian is supposed to be like pre-Star Wars or what is it like pre Empire?
Story Yoda.
Yeah, like what's going on? Like I'm having a hard time knowing if it's like Yoda the baby or Yoda's baby.
All I know is Disney makes it, so it's got to be bad.
Or just extremely satanic, because everything Disney does is that. I mean, you see the symbols of Disney. The 666 with the Walt Disney. That's obvious. But then, since I was a kid, I was watching the DuckTales, right? And they showed you the Druids and their ceremonial magic. And, they're all about the Fantasia. You see them with the wand. And you go back to Egypt, they were holding healing quartz wands. Quartz crystal wands to get this power. There's obviously something to the mystic ancient religions, of the past, because you see these major media outlets like Disney. You see the also the little logo on the top. That's a logo for the firmament. On the Disney logo, it's you see it. It's definitely. It means something to them. You see the new the Thor movie, the Ragnarok. I mean, they literally destroy what looks like a flat Earth. It's pretty gnarly.
Have you ever looked into the only place you can have alcohol in Disneyland?
No. Club 33?
Yep. You know why it's called Club 33?
Well, from what I know, it's a Masonic secret club within Disney.
Hey, yeah!
Hey, I win a prize. Yeah. All right, give me a Jolly Rancher.
You get to dress up like Goofy and not say anything, and if you do, you're fired. I knew somebody that was trying to get in as one of those actors in Disneyland. Somebody I worked with the whole guide on how to, become or be Goofy, and you weren't allowed to say anything, and you got fired if you said anything.
A lot of those guys were found out to be pedophiles that dress up as Goofy and Mickey and Donald Duck, and they even had this old ride at Disneyland, and I don't really remember seeing it, but I've seen it in pictures with truthers exposing it. And it's got literally it's got Donald Duck fondling your kid or humping it, like reverse cowboy style or some shit.
It's kind of creepy on how how out in the open they've become with this stuff.
Or like the old cartoon with Mickey where he's making the cheese and he's making the cheese with his wiener. He's he's making the Swiss holes on the cheese. He's doing it with his wiener.
No way.
Yeah, man. Hey, you have the most racist ever cartoons, where how they portray black people with the big lips, or the crows that are black. Or Dumbo. You go back to the movie, the cartoon Dumbo. You have that whole Illuminati trip out scene where it's like he did DMT or something, and he sees the Eye of Ra and all this symbolism in front of him. Disney, you want to see occult symbolism, Disney is where it's at. They definitely show you from druids to everything in between, man. And even now, even space age stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me anymore that they're going to program our children to be these things or subliminally.
Yeah.
Like when we start talking about these organizations of like the Illuminati or, obviously it's very much a Hollywood druidic culture that is out there.
So you get holy wood, right? The wood being from Wednesday being Woden's day. And then the holly obviously being the herb, the holly herb.
Yeah. And the holly
tree, yes, from where they made the wand, yes.
And that's basically, that's just part of the origins of the story. So I think that when it comes to this stuff, we need to really keep in mind that there's a battle.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you lose me for a second?
For a second, it sounded like you're fading out. But no, we're coming to the end of the show, brother. Wow, what an amazing show. Thank you so much for being on. And, I want to credit you with one of the parts in my book, because I saw that I researched the whole Metatron and metadata thing. And now you also have from Transformers, you have Megatron, or you have the Allspark, right? And it's like the huge cube, the Kaaba, the Kaaba.
Who's that? Shockwave, who has just one eye in his head, much like Middle Earth and the all-seeing eye that is chasing everyone.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Or like in Ninja Turtles, you mentioned earlier, right? The Krang, the Technodrome. What's on the top of the top of the Technodrome has a huge all-seeing eye. So I mean, it's just radical. Literally, the symbolism is. We're kind of the same age, so we've been exposed to all this symbolism since we were kids, and we've become like masters of symbolism because we could spot it anywhere, any and everywhere, and translate the symbolism to our fellow peers and enlighten them as well. So then we can keep enlightening the world, man. So thank you so much for being on the show, Kristian. We'll have you on again as many times as you want to be on, brother.
Absolutely. I'd love to get a copy of the new book, and thanks for giving me a shout out in the book. I really appreciate that. It's always awesome.
Yeah,
I always love trying to contribute any way I can.
You did. And, I was just like, okay, that is too good not to put in the book. You know what I'm saying? So you're the man. And thanks so much for simulcasting, the Rundown Live. Love your audience. And, got to be on again. Let's do it again.
Let's do it. Hey, I'm always free, and I know, like, brother from another mother on the West Coast. So
West Side, hey. Milwaukee's best, hanging out with LA's best, and now in the Wild West. Bruce Montalvo, Kristian T Harris. Thank you so much for being on.
You too. Take care.
Talk to you soon. Wow, that was one hell of a show. Symbols Part 2. Just picking up where we left off. Thank you so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to follow me. Facebook at The Bruce Montalvo Show. At Twitter, Bruce Montalvo signing out.
Montalvo Broadcasting Network.